Valheim is one of my favorite games of all time, and I think why I love this game so much is due to its lack of written, structured narrative. There are lots of other open world, adventure, survival type games that do something really similar, but I think Valheim got it right when it comes to the amount of direction and hand holding the game does and how much they point you in a certain direction. It's just enough to where you know what you're supposed to do next, but you can go about it in 100 different ways. Nothing disappoints me more in a game that I think I'm gonna like and that looks really awesome than a story that's just bland and the dialogue feels forced and cringy and doesn't inspire me to want to play the game or be invested in the relationships or the well-being of the characters that either I'm playing as or playing alongside. A good example of a great story would be with Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. You really feel like you're in that world experiencing life as Henry at that time because so much love and attention went into the story of Kingdom Come Deliverance. But that's pretty rare, and far too often we get a story that's just kind of like, hey, we got to write a story, let's put this together, and then here you go. And before you know it, you're halfway through the game and you're just kind of skipping cutscenes because you just don't really care anymore. But the gameplay loop is pretty fun, and you just want to kill some bad guys and level up your character and get some new gear. For me, bad writing completely negates any of the good things in a game. If I can't get immersed into the world and the story and the narrative that the writing team is trying to establish, I might as well not even play the game. And that takes me back to Valheim. That's why Valheim is so awesome. The story that is written within Valheim, it's a series of decisions that the player makes all the way through the game. From the meadows to the Black Forest to swamp to mountains. Every little thing that you do in that game writes the story of your character on that playthrough. And I think that's way more immersive and fun for a game like Valheim or any sort of open world game than some sort of half-assed attempt to tie everything together with some lore and some narrative that's built around the gods and why you have to go here and there with quest markers. And I would love to see more bigger studios attempt the same thing. If a slightly bigger studio with a much larger budget could deliver a game that had the same kind of vibe as Valheim, maybe in a different setting within a different world, but was voxel based, like Enshrouded, to where I could dig tunnels, that would be really cool. I don't know if I'm a dummy for having faith in Light No Fire, but that game looks like it might scratch the itch that I've been wanting from a Valheim successor. So to wrap things up with this rambling confession of my love to Valheim, I would love to see a larger studio do the same thing that Valheim did. Provide a big open world with a few key objectives that then give the player the opportunity to make lots of small decisions along the way to accomplish those big objectives however they want to do them. And while they're developing that game, consider, does adding a narrative to the game enhance the experience of the player, or are we trying to force something in that doesn't really need to be here and the player can craft their own story from their experiences and their choices?